If God is so loving, why does he send people to hell? A lot of atheists and non-religious people like to throw this type of question at us. If God is so loving, why do people go to hell? And the answer is kind of common sense. So we got Jake here, and this is John. John's throwing a birthday party. If Jake comes up to John and says, "Hey, can I be a part of your birthday party?" and John says, "No, I don't really know you," does that mean that John hates him? No, it just means that he doesn't know him well enough to be able to come to his birthday party. Now, if Jake comes up to John and says, "Hey, can I be a part of your birthday party?" and John says, "Yes, I know you really well," then that doesn't mean he loves him the most. It just means that he knows him well enough so he can come to his birthday party. The same thing is with God. If this is you and this is God, and God's throwing a birthday party, aka heaven, if you come up to God and say, "Hey, can I come into heaven?" and he says, "No, I don't really know who you are. Why do you want to come into heaven with me?" that doesn't mean he hates you. He just doesn't know who you are. Now, this is the same with you and God. If you, in your normal life, in this earthly life, if you go around and say, "I hate God, I don't believe in him, and I hate him so much," and you die and you go up to Judgment Day and you're sitting in front of God, God's not going to be like, "You hate me? You know what? You're going to have to come live with me forever. Even though you hate me, you're still coming into heaven and being with me." He's going to be like, "You know what? You lived your life separate from me. You don't really like me, so I'm going to send you to somewhere else where I'm not there." And that's what we call hell. Now, I obviously don't know what hell is like, but a lot of people think it's burning for all eternity and just sitting there in a ground where fire's everywhere and you're just burning forever. I don't know what hell is like, but I don't think this is true. Hell, so look, you got heaven and you got hell, right? Heaven is with God. You're in the presence of God, where God's always with you. Hell is separation from God, where God isn't there. So, since God is the creator of this universe and he gave us everything, I think that hell is something where God isn't there, so God's gifts aren't there. And since heaven is perfect, it's this perfect place, it's basically our utopia, if that's what God made, then think about what God didn't make, and that's hell. Obviously, like the opposite of utopia. So no, God does not send people to hell. And this life is basically the waiting room. We either have two choices. We can either live this life with God or live this life separate from God. And whichever one that we choose, he's going to let us have that decision when we die.